Take a seat. This could be a while. Hey, top of the morning, David. I'm actually shut my door real quick. Actually, give it a couple minutes as we'll roll in here before I smash right into it. Nope, we got feedback. Good morning to Luke Saldana and Massey33, Wolf and Bear. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. I'm still. We got 13 people in here. I'll give it a couple more. I'll give it a couple more minutes to see if that number changes, and then we'll hop into it. Morning, Jesse. Wild berries, be careful on that long. Be careful on that long. Anywhere within there, I think could be rejection. Let's hop down to the one. Yeah, your structure flowing up is kind of not much to it, but you're sort of here. Right, with this kind of situation. Oop. I'd be careful on that. I would be careful on that. And we'll kind of get into we'll hop into it. Okay, speaker is low. Speaker's low. I can definitely pump up the volume. I'm using a different mic this time than I normally do. So let me play with some knobs. Play with some knobs. Okay, that's up. Actually, while we're on the subject, I don't even know if I want to use this mic. Is this mic trash? I mean, it's the most expensive mic I own. But having said that, it may actually be trash. Like it might just not sound good. I may just switch mics just in case, but we'll see. But we'll see. All right, we got 22 people in here. Okay, that's way better. Good deal. I may have actually been talking a little bit on the low side as well. All right, we got 22 people in here. We're gonna get going. We're gonna get going. Good. All right. I don't see a lot of reason to spend much time on Bitcoin, but we'll spend a little bit of time on Bitcoin, and then we'll kind of move on from there. Yeah, well, I'm just going to start talking, and we'll just I'll just try and keep it together as I go here. For Bitcoin, right? For Bitcoin, we still have this glaring problem right here, right? Failure at the high equals weakness at the low. So there is still that problem. Structure is still bearish and remains to be bearish until you break that high. The only thing that can currently change that is to come down, hit this low, come back up, and break this high. That will flip the structure from here to here back to bullish. But without that, all signs point down. All signs currently point down as far as I'm concerned. Oh man, there's so much stuff I want to talk about today. There's so much stuff I want to talk about. Let's grab a blank Bitcoin chart and start diving into some stuff. start diving into some stuff. Here's going to be one of the first things I am going to, yep, this is going to work. This is going to work. This chart's going to work just fine. How big is this range? All right, so you have an 18% range here on Bitcoin. And it is doing one of two things, right? I really, 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 truly mean this. It is doing one of two things. I don't have the answer to which one of those yet, but it is doing one of two things. It is either A, accumulating, or B, distributing. I repeat, either A, accumulating, or B, distributing. So let's just talk about accumulation really quick. Because you have an 18% range here, and you set a high, and then we set a low, market makers have an opportunity to sell the Bitcoin here, buy it for 18% less, sell it for 18% more, buy it for 18% less, and then come back up and break this level, right? Which is 18, 18, 18. So they can increase their Bitcoin holdings by almost 50% inside of this range by simply rotating it from one side to the other that many times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives them an opportunity to increase their Bitcoin holdings by 50% just in this range. So that's how powerful these accumulation ranges can be. And that is generally a bullish sign. Unless I got my math wrong, whatever. I mean, I feel like it's close enough. 18 times 3, that's what I'm doing. So close enough, right? So for that reason, oh, and then, just as I was mentioning, we still have this glaring problem of the failure at this high, placing weakness on this low. Well, you have the same problem here, placing weakness here, right? So yeah, that's where Bitcoin is at. A, we accumulate. B, we distribute. And, hell, it can be both, right? The answer can be both. We can come from here back up to here and not clear that. But I will tell you, if this happens, I am going to be opening a massive short. I will be opening a massive short. I've been planning for a short up here since Monday, January 20th. Yeah, well, actually, I guess I could more accurately say that as January 27th. Since that point, since we retraced to 50% of this range, I have been waiting for a short at the all-time high, and that still remains to be true. So this is where I see Bitcoin at ultimately. And for anybody not aware, possible mitigation as low as 73,835. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way and we have a general idea for where Bitcoin is sitting, why it's sitting there, what it's doing, we can move on. I can move on. And let me see. I'm just did we all hit the like button? Yeah. Appreciate the like buttons. Not too worried about them. This channel only exists in an effort to help grow the overall community and ideally, Alex's channel. So, I'm not making a run to grow a YouTube channel and monetize it or do any of those things. But I do appreciate the sentiment. Now we're going to pop over to, let's just hit Bitcoin dominance. It's right here. Let's just hit this. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, as far as I'm concerned, we do have evidence of failure at a high, indicating potential weakness at a low. The only thing I will say is you have not broken any structure yet. You don't break structure until down here. So this is still a weak high. And this is still a strong low. It still has strength to it. Bitcoin dominance not bearish, in my opinion, until a loss of this zone. A loss of that zone. and I'm going to say we're going to rotate all the way back down to 54.78%. That's where we're at on, that's where I'm at on dominance. Let's pop out to the daily on dominance. Okay, and is that where I want to be? Yeah. You have about a weekly range of price right here. If I remember correctly, yes, we have a weekly range of price on the Bitcoin dominance. We have failure to close a weekly candle body above the previous high, placing weakness on this low. I don't have the evidence that we're going to run it yet, but early signs exist, right? Okay, now let's go take a look at total 3. Because I hate ETH, so we're not going to look at total 2. Because I hate ETH, so we're not going to look at total 2. All right, this chart's been holding up pretty good. I haven't been here in a little while. Holding up pretty good, if you ask me. What is happening? This does not belong here. What is happening? Am I on logarithmic? What is happening? Did I draw it on logarithmic? I don't understand this. That belongs there. Okay, and do we have a touch here? We do. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is a pretty simple flow chart on total 3, and this is really the primary reason I was coming on today, is to say that yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the altcoin market. Okay, so on total 3, I would propose that if you lose this low right here with a bearish close, that you are going to, even if you retrace back up, that you're going to come down and you're going to take out this low. And then if you lose that low there, even with a bearish close, even if you're going to retrace back up, I think you're going to come down and take out this low. And let's get a price label on that one. Is my magnet not on? Oh, it's on. It's on. Doesn't particularly love me right now, but it's on. Yes. Now, here's the one thing. Here's the one thing I will say is that what the hell am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? What was I going to say? Oh, a couple of things. First of all, you could still rotate off of this low on total 3. That is still a very valid structure point on the chart, and so you could still rotate off of that low and come up. And I honestly, I don't remember what I was going to say, but I do remember a thing that I wanted to say today. If you go back and you watch my streams from, let's see, so if that was Saturday, February 25th, then you would want to check my stream on Monday, February 3rd. And you will see me clearly state on Monday, February 3rd, I'm sure of it, I don't even have to go back and check, that what I would be expecting out of this area after this significant drop and a break of these ranges and breaks of this stuff and breaks of this stuff, that structure can't return bullish until here. And I'm not talking about the total 3 chart, by the way. I would have said this about every chart I looked at on that stream. And if I didn't stream Monday, check Tuesday's stream for this information. What I know I would have said was, after a drop like that, we are going to need some manner of reaccumulation in this area. I said I liked where all of the lows got put in, but because structure was so bearish in the flow 2 there, I don't see how we're going to get out of this without reaccumulation. And currently, as it stands right now, the charts are generally pointing, we have initial fail. Hold on, let me get some of these other highlighters off of here. We have initial failure here. So currently, charts are pointing here. Now that very well may break, and then we crawl back down here and pull that one. Now, the thing I also do like about that is, generally speaking, from this high right here that was set on various independent altcoin charts, we have begun to build liquidity on the way down to levels like this. making it a very longable SFP style level. Um, and we're going to go, what we're going to do next is we're going to go start working through high cap altcoins, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. But let me see if there was anything in the chat that I missed. Everything is possible. Altcoins, you're saying you're worried about altcoins. Yes, altcoins. Yes, I'm worried about altcoins. We're looking at total 3, and this is a perfect example of why I am worried about altcoins. This low is a weak low. This high is a strong high. Outside of a run on this and a break of this, I have no indication that we are coming here before here. Right now we are coming here before here. That's how the chart reads right now. Now you can talk to me after 850 billion holds about a rotation up to here, but that could be a possible redistribution back down to the low. So I still have nothing. I have nothing to suggest upside on altcoins. So let's go start looking through some high cap ones like XRP. We'll start there. Which is kind of a bummer because I got a lot of this stuff. All right, so XRP is in a very, very similar situation. I'll just do it with the highlighter. You set a high, you set a low. You have swept the high. Now this had demand here, but that demand failed to bring you back above this high. Okay, it broke in here and it started running up and it rolled back over. If this range of price was going to was meant to break to the upside, then I suggest it should have come from this zone. Yeah, and we had lift, but it did not clear. It did not clear. So so let's go down to the 15-minute. So as it got up here, now the unfortunate thing is it never took that high, but because then that would have been a clear indication on a break that low that this was a retest in supply for a run at this low. But yeah, I missed that a little bit because I mean I remember that from whatever last week, right? Whatever. I clearly remember that on the chart. Remember missing that high. But so you break this. You're coming down here. We come up. Let's take another closer look at this, okay? So then we come back up here and we fail the high again. It's just been SFP after SFP, okay? We fail that high again, okay? So you set a high, you set a low, you sweep the high, you break your highest time frame structure, you smash down through the low, breaking this structure, you retest back into supply for a continued march down, because this had to come up above here to go bullish, and it didn't do that, right? It didn't do that. So XRP is heading here. Now again, let's hop back out to like the 1 hour time frame. Will that range hold? Let me delete some of this stuff. That's not how we delete things, Brew. Never will be. Not that I'll ever learn that. Will this range hold? Let's just think about this objectively for a moment. Will this range hold? Nah, why? Why? I don't see any logical reason for that to happen. You have accessible liquidity right here. So why stop there? And then if you break that, I think you're coming down here. And if we break this, I think we're coming down here. And if we break that, I think we're coming down here. And then I think we're finally getting into a place where we can talk about longs. I think we talk about, I'm going to start talking about longs in this general area of price. I will be watching like a hawk for something that looks like maybe a 1 to 4 hour break of structure. Um, I uh, I think that could end up being a swing trade back up to 33.4 cents. Yeah, it's a I am only yeah, I do only have the left channel on the microphone, and I don't remember why that is, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't, and unfortunately, I'm too deep in the stream to attempt to fix it, right? So this is what one of our other high cap coins look like. Now, let me delete all this bull malarkey that I put on the chart here, because I want to look at it from a I want to illustrate the other concept that I was talking about. If we do lose this low, come down back test, lose the next low, come down back test, get back down to demand, you will have, obviously, in order to do this, you will have set lower highs all the way along that march. That is the liquidity that I'm talking about, that's building up. That would be building up, right? That is what I'm referring to there. All right, let me open CoinMarketCap, because we're gonna kind of flow by market cap. And well, I'm gonna get through probably like 3 more of these or so, and then we'll stop for questions. We can hunt for trades. We can do all that stuff. Yeah, we're totally skipping Ethereum. We're gonna move to BNB next. Fuck is that? All right, let's move to BNB. Back to the stream. All right. Okay, now this one does present a little bit differently. I will say that this one does present a little differently. So let me clean some of this stuff up in here in this region. After this break, I was saying, start looking for shorts. I wanted as low as in these regions. Obviously, that didn't happen. The very different thing about the BNB chart is it has put price back in above here, right? That changes your downwards structure. That is your external structure. So is that a break? Let's take a closer look at this. I think we're going to see that that's a break. Oops, that was the wrong button. There we go with the highlighter. It's not a no, it's not a that's not a good look, right? That's not a good look. That is a hateful look. You did break this one, but I mean, you fucking SFP'd the other one. Like that's not, that is not a fucking good look, okay? It's just not. There's just no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not a good look. So highest time frame structure from the low to the high, I say is going to break probably there, but it pretty much starts to look pretty bearish past this point. So let's clean some other stuff up off of here. Let's get this off. Let's get that off. Let's get this away. Yeah, so see, because even, here, so there's stuff to talk about. Okay, there's stuff to talk about. So here, what you had was you had a sell to buy that broke structure from left to right, that created an inefficiency on the chart that took price up to a prior swing point. AKA, this is demand, right? This is demand right here. When we hit demand, it had a job to do. It should have brought us back above there. That's what it should have done. If this demand was going to work and was going to hold up this market structure flow for further continuation upside, then it should have brought price back up above this. It did not do that, guys. It did not do that. It did not do that. Flow chart on BNB starts to look a little bit more like you break that low and you could back test up into here only to come down to that piece of demand. Maybe we break through this demand. We could come back up in here somewhere only to fall down to that low ultimately. Which could lead us down to areas on the chart like this. Okay, could. It could. Yeah, and there's more liquidity issues in this area right here. Those are stop losses that are going to be very easy to sweep. There is generally wick demand on these charts down in these general zones. I'm not going to fish the 1 minute time frame to find that. I'll estimate it. We're going to get to Soul. Soul's going to be next. Okay, Amru Cameron, good morning. My volume is maxed. Well, I'm glad that your volume is maxed, unless you're telling me you still can't hear me, because then that'd be a little different. All right, so that's the BNB flow. Okay, that's the BNB flow. Now, what could change this flow on BNB? In my opinion, there is only one thing that can change this flow. You need to take this low and you need to come back up and you need to break that high. And until I have evidence of that, we are not coming up to prices like this and this and this and this. So until that, down, 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 down. Okay. Now, I think Soul should be next. Yes, Soul is next as far as a market cap goes. So this was the flow chart that I had posted. The TA that we had been doing, last week or whatever. We were, I think, I don't remember, and I'm not going to go into Discord. And I understand that I put this out in the Otter chat, but we had this information in premium well ahead of time all week, or whatever we call the paid version of Discord. Right? We had this information well ahead of time. Okay, so don't play like we didn't have this information. And the moment that you see your market structure break, which happened here, because those highs touch inside of supply underneath bearish market structure, it was game over at that point. It was game over. It was game over. There is only one step on the flow chart that hasn't completed yet, and it is this one. So if you lose this low with a bearish close, even if you retrace back up, I'm expecting you are going to come down, down, down. Can we stop there? Yeah, we could probably stop there. Yeah, we could probably stop there. That's a dollar or 160 is I absolutely am looking for a long there, because if the long does not come from there, well, then it comes from a far lower place on the chart. A far lower place on the chart. If we do not get it from there, we are going to clean this liquidity right here. And you better hope that holds, because it gets to be, this chart becomes a official nightmare after you lose $109. A literal official nightmare. Let me get back to my chat. All right, and so that's Sol. Okay, so this is Sol. You guys beginning to see why I've got a little bit of heartburn over these altcoins right now. Hopefully, you're beginning to see it. All right, next should be Doge, right? Yeah, Doge. Next would be Doge. All right, might have been a little bit since I've been on the Doge chart, so we should have some catching up to do here. All right, first of all, yeah, we have a lot of catching up to do. We have a lot of catching up to do. Let's get all this shit deleted. So, and again, like, in paid Discord, do not try and act like I did not tell you this was a Model 1 distribution and that we were going to have a very bearish result. Um, don't try and play me like that, all right? Don't try and play me like that. But let's get in here. Let's get rid of that low. That line is irrelevant. It's already been addressed. Get rid of this demand. It's already been mitigated. It's done. Clean chart. Don't need that information. Here and here. These are my relevant pieces of information. Okay. All right. So, I would want to say that a purge of that low should, no, I do want to say this, a purge of this low should incur a bullish result, and it's not doing that. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells me that supply is in control, right? And that we broke this low. And supply is still in control. Now, I mean, I would have much preferred to see it to have seen it reject from the top section of this and fill that fair value gap. That would have been cool. But it is still not looking really healthy right here. It is not looking really healthy right here. Furthermore, you have a strong high and a weak low. So that's a problem. That's a problem. And yes, we can look at Tau because I am about ready to start opening this up for. I'm done. Like story time is coming to a close. And we can start looking at planning trades and answering questions and doing all these kinds of things, right? Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart. Let's reduce our time frame to the 30-minute. And let's be aware we have rotated back up to the top of this range here. And upon a rotation, we get back to the 30. Upon a rotation back up to the top of this, we broke structure. 30-minute time frame right here. Now, is that the highest time frame structure from this low to this high? Yeah, it is. It is. It is the highest time frame structure. So let me play with a couple different time frames on this one because I think we do have a little bit of demand beneath this that we can pay attention to. God, none of it looks good. None of it looks good. All right, let's clean this up. Let's get this off. Let's get this off. Let's get this off. It's done its job a long time ago. Let's get this off. Let's repurpose this to here. Let's extend these over to here and understand that we still have supply just above that high. Let's get this out of the way. 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 Oh, never mind. I had a previous idea down there, so it's going to have to stay. Boom, and let's get this out of the way. Now, in my opinion, there's one thing that is holding us back from running the lower section on this chart, and that is going to be this day, 3-day order block right here. And it does not look strong, guys. It does not look strong at all. I have very little hope for that. Very little hope for that. Yes, very little hope for that. Uh-huh. No, I don't. I just don't. I have very, very, very little. Did I say I have like very little hope for this? Because I really mean that. Um, yeah, no. No. I think that this is going to come down in here, probably lift a little bit, set a lower high, come down in there, probably lift a little bit, set a lower high, and ultimately be back down to $2 or 233. Yes, that's what I think. Yes, I think it will ultimately be back down to 233. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I feel pretty strongly about that. This is not one that's in a position right here that I don't like this one for a local trade. Oh no, I don't. No, I mean what happened really locally right here is you broke this low with a bearish close. You fucking bastard. Forming supply. You've mitigated that supply. You're coming back down for this low. And if you break that low with a bearish close, even if you retrace, we're coming back down. Now this is the troublesome area because this is an area that I could see some lift coming out of, but I just think it's gonna fall back down. I just think it's gonna fall back down. I don't know why I wanted to fix these really quick. They were driving me crazy and better. Yeah, I would suspect that it probably will come out of this zone. But this right here, this may be an interesting short for tomorrow. That might be an interesting short for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm open for questions, right? If anybody has any questions, let's get those done. I don't really have any sort of set schedule, so I do have the ability to spend quite a bit of time with you guys today. So let's make the most out of this. Let's get some really solid plans going into next week, and let's get this thing. Let's get this thing. So happy to take a look at other coins in this moment. Like maybe you've got a spot holding that you're concerned about. We can take a look at that. Just liquidity. So yeah, let's keep on. Dodge looks like it will run. Dodge looks like it will run up till April 4th and drop till August 29th as I look at the chart. I'm not good enough to do that really myself. I have dinner in 23 minutes. Be here for that time, okay? Cool. And guys, I honestly I don't bite. I'm really here uh to help to do my best well, I mean, at least share my perspective. So please, by all means, there is no stupid question. Don't I really mean that. There's no dumb questions at all. Please feel free to reach up. And if anybody tries to make you feel small for what you're saying, I will exodus them from uh, from the old chat. They can go away. They can go away. They don't belong here. That's a big maybe for me. It's a big maybe for me right there. Al Joyfuls or AI Joyfuls, I don't know. I'm a half idiot, um so bear with me there. How to pick up best time frame for every coin. I'm a multi time frame analysis guy, so I might not be able to. I wish I could help you on there, but I'm a multi time frame analysis guy, so I use all time frames in confluence with each other. So in other words, like 2 to 5 minute structure for me is very valid structure, but I have to understand what it means within the context of like 15-minute structure and 4 hour structure and daily structure and weekly structure. I have to know what those contexts are in order to utilize these smaller time frames like 2 and 5 minute structure. If I had to give you one time frame that was the single-handed best to understand overall flow on any coin, I will give you the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame. And the 4 hour time frame on every chart we have looked at today is bearish. And yeah, so ADA. So ADA was the first one. So and I happened to randomly pick that. I didn't even actually hop on ADA because who asked for it? Because G Corp asked for it. I just because it's a higher cap and it's about next in the list. I happen to be on that chart. So what we have on ADA, the primary signal that I'm sorry, the primary signal that I'm looking at on ADA is the same primary signal that I've looked at on every other chart. So let's illustrate that first. Strong high, or you could look at it this way, strong high, weak low, okay? Primary numero uno signal information I need on ADA is this right here. Second most important piece of information I need on ADA exists right here. Failure at the high. We come down, we set a low, we set a high. We set an internal low, we sweep the external high. That is bearish. That is bearish. Okay. So, so after sweeping it, we come down, we kind of take another run up. It's what it's doing in this moment is it's trying to hold this structure, right? So it runs up again. Let's find our break. Runs up again, and then it breaks here. Retests into supply, breaks that low, comes back down. Now you have this slight flip in structure here. Retest of demand, run back up. So what the hell happened then? Probably need a higher time frame for this. It might actually just be ugly too. Oh no, we're good. We get up high enough in time frame and we start to look pretty decent. All right. I think I went too far. So we break this low, forming supply. And then what happened when we hit supply? Let's go down to 5 minutes. Nah, you'd only see it on the 1 minute. And this is what I mean, where in order to utilize 1 minute market structure, lower time frame market structure, I have to understand the context of everything. I could have actually utilized this structure for this reason, because you are also failing to clear this high. You were doing that into supply. So when it double tops right here, then that is a pretty good indication that bare minimum, it wanted to fill this fair value gap. You can see the reaction off of having done that. But as it comes back up, follow your structure down. As it comes back up, it can't make it through this supply. So what does it do? It rolls down and takes out the next most relevant low. Probably turn on some music. It's getting a little quiet in here. Right now, a break of this low. What does that mean? That means that price could retrace up into here only to come back down and take out this low. Now, if you break that low with a bearish close, what does that mean? That means price could retrace back up only to come down and take out this low. Then we get demand in here, and I start to question whether we need to rotate all. Let me put it this way. This here puts weakness here. This demand, I presume, is the only thing that is going to stop it at this point. But I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's the only thing, in my opinion, that could. Aided distribution for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. You have like your 1, your 2-ish in here. This could be your third tap on a Model 2 distribution. Clear evidence of redistribution here. Redistribution. Because if I'm not, no, yeah, because it really didn't distribute up here. That doesn't qualify in my book, unless. No, I could. I take that back. I can count this as a. This whole thing is a 1, 2, 3 Model 2 distribution. Yeah, I can count that whole thing as a distribution there, and we are redistributing here, which all goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, that if you go back to whatever date that was that I mentioned, that after a big purge of this, we need reaccumulation ranges. Okay, so that's ADA. And at any point in time, if you guys say, cool, well, I understand the TA and that's neat and all, but how the hell, and I understand where you feel the direction is going, but how in the hell am I supposed to trade that? If at any point in time anybody wants to stop and say that, I'm happy to go through how I would execute a position on any one of these charts. All right, let me get back into chat. Okay, so we haven't got to Tau, or maybe we did do Tau. Did we do Tau? I think we did Tau. Yeah, we did Tau. It's loaded up over here. So we did Tau. Yeah, okay, so we did Tau. The technicals question: how to pick up and TF for trading alts? Like how Link is range moving, Tau is a mover. Good big moves. However, you said not good trading on 3 15-minute, right? Agreed. How to? Um, AI Joyfuls, what I'm going to recommend for you is I'm going to recommend that you dig through my YouTube channel. I'm going to recommend that you find my first video on market structure. Because in that video, I really cover multi-time frame analysis and sort of how to use smaller time frames to make entries on much larger. Here's a better way I can say it. Here's a better way I can say it. Maybe I can just make an example out of it. Maybe we can just flow chart it. Give me something. Come on, come on. Work with me. Let's go to the daily. Let's go to a blank chart. What am I trying to say? It talks about using lower time frame market structure to refine entries for much higher time frame market structure movements. So in other words, I talk about using the 15-minute to trade the next daily low to the next daily high, or I'm sorry, like yeah, like daily market structure points, not day as in day of the week. Um, it's a mouthful. I turns to I don't know if I can really break it down for you because it would take me a solid hour just to get through that concept. So unfortunately, I'm just going to refer you back to that. You can reach out to me if you still have questions afterwards. Yeah, we'll take a look at PI. I heard something about that. Didn't it like explode or something? Isn't it like dead? Oh, or did it just go up? Is that what it did? Did it just go up? Because if it did, that could be sweet. It's okay. So this thing, cool, cool. Sure, we can do this. No problem. No problem. This shouldn't actually be that difficult. Here, I want to read it here. So one thing I would absolutely be interested in is this, quite specifically here. That's one thing I would definitely be interested in. Let's see, what's another thing I would be interested in? I would be interested in a short off the high. I would be interested in a short off this high down two here. Oh, come on, you little. Okay, okay. I can't. It's pissing me off. Okay, and let's go ahead and hop down to the 5. Okay, so currently, currently, you have this demand here that created your inefficiency right here. That broke your structure right here that we have come into to mitigate. Now, I will tell you, I will tell you very, very frankly that it would have been very important to me that this wick would have come down and taken the prior wick. Oh my god, this fucking magnet is fucking driving me insane. This is a whole different scenario here. This is a whole different scenario, okay? Because that actually puts a breakage structure here. Now, that may flow this way regardless, and my little made-up wick on BitGet, that may have occurred on a perpetual chart right here. In which case, I would say now you have this local range here that needs to resolve. Oh, now I need my magnet again. Where you have set your high and you have set your low and you have swept your low, indicating weakness in your high for a rotation back up. I think if you can break this, then I think you're going to trade it back up to this zone. Let's get these highlighters off. And if you can, yeah, and if you can get through that zone, then I think you can get up back up to 172. But I would definitely caution price from, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick on a 5-minute order block right in the middle of this supply. This is caution zone. This is caution zone. In the event that you do decide you're going to long this, I would be very cautious right here. Very, very cautious indeed. Very, very cautious, yes. Yes. Yes, indeedly. Yes, indeedly. And then as far as immediate shorts go, this would be almost near impossible to confirm structurally to take that short. So I think, yeah, basically, I like the trouble is I like shorting this high. Sorry, that was probably a slide. I like shorting this high, and I like shorting here, and I even like shorting a sweep of this. So my three short ideas on this are all of these. These are my 3 shorts. I would entertain. I mean, we're getting. So I try not to do this all the time because it can be overwhelming to people. I would entertain movement off of this low. And then we already talked about these areas down here, and that is how I would look at pi. Now, there is another important piece of information that I don't think I discussed on this chart yet. A super important piece of information. Yes, and I have not discussed it, so let's knock that out real quick. Weak high. It's a weak high. Okay, and then we're gonna look at. I am so far back on chat, guys, because I'm literally looking at Luke's comment that says, "Can we do HVAR spot?" So bear with me here. Maybe hold off on a little bit so I can get through this, and then we'll see what else I missed below that. Okay, yeah. So this is okay. Thanks for bringing this one up. Thanks for bringing this one up. Thanks for bringing this one up for sure. Okay, so let's talk about first principles here. First principles. Come, please work with me. We broke structure here, okay? We broke structure here, meaning that your strong high is either going to exist right here or it's going to exist right here. One of the two of those. Where's your weak low exists? Right here. There's your weak low. There's your dub L, old dub L down there. All right, now this is a very important level on the chart, just like every other chart we looked at. Now, we have set our high. I'm sorry, we have set our low and we have set our high, and we have not challenged either of those, okay? Neither of those have been challenged. But you can see that we are clearly building up liquidity all the way down. So a run on that low could peel all of this, all of it, all of it. Yeah, every last bit of it, every last bit of it. Now, does that mean that we don't come down for yet another one? No, it does not mean that. We may need to come all the way back down to 17 cents again, because you do still have supply, the supply that caused the massive drop, sitting right on top of that high. Okay. This supply here is what caused this. That is where the big cowboys stepped in and sold. Are they going to defend this position? We don't know the answer to that, but don't kid yourself at all whatsoever. That is the area where people participated in the market that caused this. And that was a significant impact that they had. That is a 41% reduction in price. So yes, that supply is strong and could very well create a scenario that looks like that. Okay, so that's H bar spot. Spot. Yeah. There's some lower stuff in here. There's some lower stuff in here that I would be interested in. We can just call it around that 13.7 area. But yes, that is where that is at, which ironically, that's the thing that cracks me up, is that when I did that stream, whenever it was around my birthday, right around my birthday, I know I was talking about reaccumulation ranges down here, and I'm back again today, however many days later, almost 20 days later, to tell you the story hasn't changed. Nothing about that has changed, okay? Now, let's see. Now, oh, good. Hey, Jason, you're going to have to go back. We already did Sol. I mean, but I can pull it up for you real quick because it's an easy chart. It's an easy chart. It's an easy chart. So we can take a peek at it again real quick. Blank. Let's go to maybe the 1 hour. Okay, so Sol, you know, in again, like I have this information out. I was talking about this on apparently Friday last week. Apparently Friday last week is when I was talking about this. As a matter of fact, this is probably market open on Monday. No, Friday. No. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it was just this week that I was talking about this. I was saying if we lose this low here, we're coming down to this low. And if we lose that low, we're coming down to this low. And then if we lose that low, with a bearish close, we're still coming down to 160. And then we're looking for longs at 160. We're looking for longs at 160. As it stands right now currently, this is what I would use to trade down to that. That's 4.54 risk reward. Into here's a 2.55. Enter up there at that 15-minute order block is a 6.41. There's Sol. ETH BTC. Okay, let's look at ETH BTC. Coinbase? Yep, apparently that's where my TA was. I was like, I know I had a chart on it. So there was a point in time I was hoping for PO3 and a bullish expansion. There was a point in time that we were hoping for that. It didn't happen. I almost feel like I almost feel like this, Luke. No joke. I still almost do feel like that. but more like this. But more like that. Because this is supply. And it is the supply that caused the big drop. That caused price to diverge from the Bitcoin value in a manner of 26% or so, right? Like that is where that supply exists on the chart. We are currently attempting a mitigation upon it, and let's look here a little closer. Let's get this line out of the way. We don't need that. Yeah. It seems like this to me, almost exactly how I had that drawn there, but it seems a lot like this to me. That is exactly what I would expect there, and I would not expect this to hold. I'd expect it to break, and I'd expect it to run down there, and I'm happy to be wrong, but that's how I feel about it. When is the dip of the dip on Sol? I think if we're not in it right now, then just as you would be scared of your bag of Sol, I would be really scared of mine. As far as the dip of the dip goes, let me contextualize that information for you. We're gonna go to let me just get a fresh chart here on Binance. This is this we need to hold. We need to hold here. We need to hold here, and I am gonna say why in a minute. So we have our initial low, and this is the low, which, by the way, I've been calling these levels on Sol since Monday, January 25th. So no surprise to me to be down here on this chart. Zero surprise at all. After the failure to close above that swing point on the daily chart, it was pretty clear that we were coming down here, especially after this daily order block did not hold and set a higher high, set a lower high out of that. So here we are. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3. That'd make a 4. That'd be weird. That would be weird. I don't see any good reason to be down in this area. I see bad reasons to be down in that area. That all looks like liquidity that could easily be run in that whole zone. It doesn't work well with that. I have to use my little curve tool. That is not a pleasant place on the chart right there. Really not a pleasant place on the chart. If you want my opinion, this is a very unpleasant place to be on the chart down here. And so I propose that we don't want anything to fucking do with it. Don't want anything to do with it. And I'll tell you one thing: if you were to lose $1.10, it's fucked, bro. It's fucked. Top is in. Top is in at that point. Like had been in for a long time at that point. If you lose this, fucking good night, Irene. Good night. I would propose that you would literally would not be doing anything bullish until $32 again. Yeah. So, so your main structure here is this. That is your main structure. Let's use a path tool instead, so it's a little bit more clean and makes me feel better about myself. That is your current structure. And that is not daily structure. That is weekly structure. So, you know, this is not a break for me. This is not broken yet. I understand I'm looking at a candle body that is sitting right below that prior swing low, but I am not convinced that that is a break yet. Nope, I'm not convinced of that at all. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be opposed to a sweep on that low for a long, literally all the way back up to the high. And I guess that's another reason I came on today is there is the potential for a very significant bullish expansion in the market, like next week or the following. There is a very significant potential for a very significant bullish expansion in this market in the in March, right? It's a very significant possibility for it. There's also a very significant possibility for things to get really ugly, really, really ugly. So I suppose we're going to have to talk about that, right? I suppose we're going to have to talk about that. Let's go back to the Coinbase chart for Bitcoin. And let's fuck my life. Okay, I was really not expecting it to be this bad. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna hope I'm really fucking wrong about it. And I'm gonna hope that it just doesn't, that by the time I go to make the comparison, that it just doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm gonna hope. That's what I'm gonna hope. Okay, so that would be kind of the equivalent of this. Let's get this on here. Let's get this on here. Let's be aware of the fact that that was like failure on the daily. Let's understand that there was supply. Where do I want to put it? I'll throw this area here, and that we had taken a significant drop down. We had formed a weak low and a strong high, and we had put in an internal range kind of in this area here, kind of thing, something like this. And then we're going to do this. We're going to, nope, that's not the right buttons. We're going to do Shift Command 5. We're going to grab this, and we're going to capture, and we're going to copy, and then we're going to delete all these drawings, and we're going to get off of bar replay, and we are going to start making some comparisons. Okay, so this what we're comparing for anybody that wasn't really following along here, restore connection, give me a random Bitcoin chart, anyone will do. We'll take that one there. Why am I on double pane? What I don't want to be on double pane. What was that all about? Give me a fucking Bitcoin chart. Here we go. Okay, what I am doing is I'm going to compare this top here that led to a significant drop into the summer prior to a rise back up. That drop began in May. I'm comparing this to where we are right now. I just don't remember where I was doing it. I was doing it here. Okay. Man, I really wish I could clip that into it. All right, let's start looking here. Okay, so I'm going to say that this, we're going to say this is this. And 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 we're going to say this is this. All right. More or less. I'm not making a candle for candle comparison here. I'm making a comparison of the overall narrative and flow of this, okay? Just the general narrative and flow. In the current example here, we broke here, forming supply in this area, mitigated that supply, and set that big grenade wick. That would be the equivalent of this supply on this chart here, and then setting. No. Again, not a candle for candle comparison. I don't know why I tried to just fucking make it one. I don't know why I tried to do that. It's the overall narrative, okay? It's the overall narrative of what I'm trying to get across here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now I'm also going to say that this low is the equivalent of this low. Now, when this low was broken back then, we all know what happened. I was there, okay? If you weren't, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you right now, I remember what happened. I was there, okay? So this low here, after a break of that, we came up and we absolutely grenaded. All throughout the summer, we absolutely grenaded, okay? So that is why I feel that this low right here, 89.028, is hella important. 89.28 for me. I'm done with all this. You guys can go back, take screenshots, do whatever you want. I'm getting rid of all this. That is why this low for me right here is important, or we can see the potential for a somewhere near a 24 to 30% drop in that range. What was it when it happened way back in the day? Oh, and then interesting. So it actually cleaned the whole, almost the entire bottom of the prior demand range. And let's see, as a percentage wise, it would have been this low in question. We came down, what do you know, about 40%. 40% would be the equivalent of cleaning this low right here, the same as we cleaned this low here. Not that one, this one. that would be the equivalent of this. Okay. Okay. Anybody follow? Everybody following me there? Everybody following me? Jason John, you're more than welcome. Could you look at OM, please? I have some spot. It jumped again. It's called OM. Sell it. No, I'm just joking, but I don't know where you're at. I don't know what your entry is, but we'll look at some real basic things here. I believe that this price will ultimately come down to this demand before touching this high. I'll look a little bit closer and tell you what I would need to see to tell me I'm wrong about that. But something tells me that that's going to be a significant drop still. It's only about 10%. Um, I don't like the fact that there's no mitigation on here, and that if it were to mitigate, it would likely do it to this point here. And this would literally be my ideal long zone would be in, it'd really be in this region, or it'd be in and about there. What worries me about this is this. You've got a 1, you've got a 2, and you've got a 3. Now let's look at the last time that happened. 1, 2, 3. This low held. That would be the equivalent of this low holding, but these present differently. This was down before up. This is up and then up. So that is a different presentation there. So yeah, I think this needs to hold, or you're going to run all that liquidity. And so for that, I would say longs for me are here, back up to that high. And obviously long down here. Yeah, I would absolutely be interested in shorting the high on that. And now we're going to take a look at our very local range. So we set our high, we set our low, we have swept the low. Okay. Check. When we did so, this is where you would have broken structure. We just kind of wick up there. There's something I'm missing. Ah, there it is. 10-minute order block with imbalance. You wick into that. You come back down, pull the low again. Very undecided after that. Okay, so this belongs here now. No, nothing has broken bullishly from here to here. I mean, unless it's like 5 minute, 2 minutes, something like that could be. Nope, 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 nope. Hasn't done it. Hasn't done it. So there's still supply in this area. We interact with that supply there, forming this high. That high is currently unchallenged. Trading between the two of those. Liquidity resting here all the way to here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to suggest a couple of things on this. Number one, that's not the right tool. Yep. Number one, and then outside of that, I'm basically suggesting this. And then we're back to the rest of the TA. That then connects the local range to the rest of the TA. I just sent you a surprise to look at off stream. Uh-oh. Trading view notifications, Discord private messages. All right. Okay. So, all right. OM. All right. So we did OM. Hey Jonathan, I'm kind of on a roll today, bro. You may want to go back and watch this whole stream. I feel like I'm on fire this morning. Let's go back and take a look at BTC. I'm kind of curious where that's standing right now. Yeah, nothing overly exciting. All right, so I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'll be back. Oh, my battery is running out, which means my phone battery is dying, which means my mic or my camera may go out because my phone is my camera today. All right, so kind of what I have in mind. I'm sorry, I'm not very close to the mic. Maybe you can't hear me. Kind of what I have in mind is either is just going back through the high caps and planning some positions. Um, That's just about right. Planning some positions and yeah, like that's kind of what I have in mind for the next 30 minutes or so. I don't like I primarily trade Bitcoin, right? So I don't really these alts, like I'm happy to go plan some trades on them. I may not take them all. If I were to trade these altcoins, I guess I would likely just look at the high caps, right? I might just look at like Doge, XRP. I don't even know if like those ones. Might look at those. Unless anybody else has some suggestions of things that they would like to look for some trades on, then I would propose that we just stick to high caps. I'll give everybody a. I should have said that before I went to go to the bathroom, and then maybe I came back and just had some brilliant ideas already. All right. Well, here we go. Ada. Subtract a multiplication of. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I do that, I want to check marker. Or MKR, or whatever the fuck this is. Hold the top. Because this was one I was looking at yesterday. And I was like, this could be shaping up really nice shirt. You exhaust me, you exhaust me. Yep. I'm gonna say that high has significance to it. Say that that is the most significant high between here and here, with the exception of possibly this guy. But yeah, I would say that that high does have significance to it. What has me in my opinion, MKR has the potential to drop 50% from here. If I were to plan, I could plan some TPs along the way. That would definitely be one of them. So is the mega important low at 1357. We are about to break 30-minute structure after. We just broke 30-minute structure after having interacted with that high, and I think that this starts to look a little bit like this for me. Here to here, with a potential long off of here, back up to the high, and then if you break the mega important low, then that could ultimately lead to a 11 archery. One that I think is worth a small amount of risk right here, right now. Okay, I'm going to look at executing about a quarter of a position here. I'm gonna get my exchange loaded, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of a closer look at the chart. Yeah, I don't think I have any need to. I'm gonna be a little chill on the leverage. Let's see. I feel much better if this is broken. Just get on the fucking wick, homie. Get on the wick. All right. Let's maybe take a peek at volume. See what volume's up to here. Significant volume there. Significant bullish volume there. So like these late longs that got into this ride really late up at the top, they're all going to be under the water down at like 1475 ish. they'll be trapped. Those shorts got wrecked. These longs will get trapped down here, which is a TP. Okay, gotcha, cool. Okay, so those longs may defend, and we have a TP there. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's see what's up with that little order block right there. I'm going to be taking some caution in this zone. And that should be about it. Should be about it for me. Don't really have shit for structure on the way down. But I am going to want an alert here. I'm going to want to know if price comes back up above this. Once per bar, thank you. And I'm going to want an alert here. I'm going to want to know when price enters the demand. Once per bar, thank you. And I'm going to be aware that we have a skosh of supply up in this area. Nothing that is super exciting, but a wee little bit of it. Wee little bit. All right, be aware of that. I'm going to look for evidence of distribution. Nothing confident in that department. And last but not least, just for shits and giggles, we'll peek at it. Yeah, fairly bearish from a momentum perspective. Okay, check. Let's say maybe the 6 hour look like. 6 hour looks like it could roll back up. 6 hour does look like it could roll back up. Okay. All right. But I'm not going to put too, I personally don't put too much weight on the oscillators. I have enough information that I will be making a 0.25% risk entry. And, keep the leverage pretty low, like 10x or so. All right, and then we'll see how that one plays out. All right, now I was going back to ADA. I'm glad I remembered to do this one, man. I was looking at that one last night and I almost fucking forgot. All right, now I'm gonna go back to ADA. Let's see. Biggest movers now in ZoomX are yeah. See, all that stuff is so weird for me. 24-hour volume, IP, ban, OM, peanut, huh? Dang, I ain't looked at the peanut chart in a minute, bro. Let me look at that peanut chart. Some of the peanuts. And thanks for helping out the chat, Jonathan. You're a legend, as always. What do we got on the peanuts? What you have on your peanut... What you have on your peanut is you have a wick into supply. And a pretty piss poor close above your prior swing point. And a weak, ooh, is it? And a weak low. And you have you've pretty much filled this fair value gap. But if this little chunk of demand is not going to hold on the peanuts, then I think you're going to run 13.20 or 0.1328. No, I mean, I guess you got a little bit of demand below that stuff. Those are the only defensible positions, the only defensible areas on the chart, in my opinion, prior to just cleaning the whole thing up. And I am so looking forward to it. It has been a shit few weeks of trading, and I'm really kind of confident that coming into next week, we're going to finally get to clean these fucking charts up and get back to easier trading. Oh God, I give up. Whatever. Yeah, that's where I'm at on the peanuts. Okay, but that's not what I was doing. I just saw that and was interested, so I stopped there. We were going to look at ADA, and so ADA immediately for me, that's a shit entry point. I don't like it. Wouldn't suggest it for anybody. But I'm going to be looking at ADA to this perspective into next week. I will be looking for longs on ADA as early as here. No reason not to. Absolutely no reason not to. As early as there. And we're going to be looking for longs on ADA in here. And we're going to be looking for longs on ADA at the low. ADA has a lot of potential places. ADA might be one of the harder ones to trade because it honestly has a lot of potential places for the move to initiate from. My longs are all of these. And my shorts are here and here. Yeah, okay, ADA done. ADA done. And I'm sorry if this is a wreck for anybody, but to me it's so much better than putting a bunch of longer short tools on the chart. It's just much preferred for me anyway. All right, ADA's done. We're going to move to Sol next. We're going to do the same thing. Kind of. This chart's a little bit more of a wreck. All right, so we've got that current idea here. But we really want this actually to happen before that. That's what I really prefer. Yeah, because if long, only long to here, and short, we've already got that concept covered there, and long here. And yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, yeah, buddy. Where's the alert on that? Where's the alert on that? Let's make that happen right now. Looking for that on Monday. Probably Monday. Should be a Monday thing. Let's hit XRP. See loss of this guy, and I'm going to be looking for this to here. I'm going to say that we have that we can absolutely entertain a long trade here. And consider a short trade here. I like that. If we go there first, yeah, we can still consider short there. Just delete that. I don't need that. Go away. Short here. Long here. And long here. Oh, that's starting to get a little ugly. Oh, that's starting to get a little ugly. I'm going to live with it. I'm going to live with it. And we got another longs, more longs down. All right. XP done. We do so? We just did so. Didn't we do so? We just did so. We just did so. We did so. We did. Okay. Doge. Next is the dog coin. Dogging. Dog coin. What are we going to do, dog coin? All right. So right now, as it stands currently, I'm thinking here to here. And then I'm going to say, sure, I'm interested in this on Monday. Don't know where it's going to take us, but no, that's interested in that on Monday. Where would it have to take us? It's going to work. Well, if it works to its fullest potential, I would say there. I would say also the inverse of that, a bearish close below this low and a back test, if you're lucky enough to get it in there, for a drive down to here, down to our week low. And as the chart currently stands, there are things that would change this, but I would still short that out of this supply. Be far better if it actually mitigated the supply, but it doesn't actually have to mitigate the supply, so I'm happy to take it from there either. And then obviously here. All right, sweet. Yeah, if you guys got questions, let me know, because like I just did, like I'm now officially kind of done with the major high caps. I mean, with the exception of BNB, we didn't look at BNB. We did not look at BNB. I mean, we looked at BNB today. We just haven't. Never mind. Maybe we already completed this exercise on BNB. We didn't talk about longs. Oh, we kind of talked about longs. We can talk about a couple more longs, though. No, that wouldn't make sense. That would only take you to here. That would only take you back into this supply at that point. And then here, that could incur a very, very bullish result. And then obviously here for a very bullish result. All right, and in let's see, I have 22 people watching still. Okay, so I'm going to repeat some things that I said earlier on the stream. We have the potential into the next week or two to see a very significant bullish expansion in the crypto markets. I repeat, we have the potential in the next week or two to see a very significant bullish expansion in the crypto markets. And like these lows need to hold, or we could go into another summer temporary bear market. Like real talk. Go back to the stream and look at where I compared the first of what ended up being a double top at the macro high of last cycle, and compare it to where Bitcoin is currently standing right now, and what that could ultimately mean. If you want to scare yourself, go look at that. But outside of that, I do think we have the potential to really get things moving here again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And really, truly, BNB could be all the way back down here, because this is the low that created this high that ended up into a Model 1 distribution. So it could sweep as far as here. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to go here pretty, like really and truly pretty soon. So And if you're like, man, I want, like, I kind of want to ask this, like, or rather, if you're watching the stream and you're like, I would really appreciate some information on X, but I feel like I don't know very much, and I don't want to sound stupid when I type it. I don't want to, and it end up being a dumb question or one that was already answered. I don't care. Ask it. I don't care. Ask the question. It's no big deal. We're here to encourage each other and help each other. So just throw it out there. Don't be shy. Because without that, I will be wrapping the stream to a close. Yeah, Luke, we're getting a full market reset. Like, really and truly, your full market reset occurred. It's pretty easy to spot on the total 3 chart. It already occurred, in the sense that, uh, yeah, this to me, was your full market reset. We just have the remaining job of returning to bullish structure. And you can see that the market makers are doing a wonderful job already on many charts of bringing the bears in to fucking plow them. Personal opinion. I think the market makers are doing a very good job, and I think everybody, not everybody, we're here to be the people that don't fall for it, but everybody does the same shit, the same. You want to know why price hit the previous all-time high on total 3 and went down how many percent? You want to know why that happened? I'll tell you really quick why that happened. It's very, very easy. Because people's psychology fails them every time. They bought the top. They bought the top. That's why they did it. Because if they did not buy the top, then the market maker has no one to sell their asset to. They bought the top. Again, they did it again. And they sell the low. And they buy the high. That's why this chart looks that way. They did it. They provided the liquidity to the market maker. They bought the high and they sold the low. So, and when that happens, the market maker takes your money. I hear you, wild berries. I hear you. I hear you. And I hate that you're one of the ones I'm talking about, but you have to take it as a learning lesson. You have to take it as a learning lesson, right? Because what happened, I know it. This is the effect of fear and greed. This is the effect of it. You're watching it on a chart right now. I don't know why it doesn't want to load, but that is your prior all-time high on the all of the chart. And here's what everybody thought. We're in a bull market. We're going to break the high. That's what everybody thought. We are in a bull market, and this high may very well break because today, still, it is a weak high. It is still a weak high. Okay? But everybody thought we were going to break it here. And so they got greedy. Everybody was in massive profits. They were in massive profits. And they were like, this is a bull market. We're going to crash on through this thing. And they got, and their greed kicked in. The same way that when it comes here, their fear is going to kick in. Then their fear is going to hit. Maybe it only rotates to here. but their fear is going to hit. And as soon as that fear hits, the market maker is going to rip it on them. Just as soon as their greed hit, just as soon as everybody's greed kicked in, market makers rips it on them. Now they're just getting everybody's fear to kick in so they can rip it on them. Personal opinion. Personal opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong. We still have the potential to come down lower. We do, and you know, Bitcoin is not much of an exception to that. Time plus patience equals profit. Agreed. And here, guys, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because I'm not here to beat anybody up. I'm right here in the trenches with you. Okay, I need that total 3 chart. Where did it go? Need the total 3 chart. Where did it go? Okay, it's proof in the pudding. I'm not a rocket scientist. I am in this with you. I am in this with you. I bought, here's the only good thing. I bought here-ish. I neglected to sell here. Okay? I neglected to sell here. I took some XRP profits at the all-time high. Outside of that, I neglected to sell there. Yes, there are many of my altcoins that have incurred the same 40 some odd % drop. Yes, it happened. Only thing is it's still pretty close to my entry. So you're not alone. Wild berries, you're not alone. Okay. What happened to me? My greed happened to me as well. All right. And yeah, so I paid a little bit of that price. I paid a little bit of that price too. All right. It's not just you, man. We're all in this together. I'm right here in these trenches with you. All right, and the questions are not coming in. I have made my closing statement, and so probably time to go spend the rest of my Sunday with my family, okay? Yeah, wild berries. I'm with you in the sense that I am way better. I am way better about my futures portfolio than I am my spot portfolio. I share that same thing with you that I am far better in that area. Far better in that area. All right, peace out. Peace out, Girl Scouts. It's a good stream. It's a good stream. It's a good stream. We did good. Have you ever ran a fib in your supply and demand zones? I don't, but I will tell you this about running a fib in supply and demand, Luke. This is what I will tell you. If a golden pocket exists in supply or demand, I am less likely, I repeat, less likely to believe that that supply or demand will end up. So let's say we're in an uptrend. We are coming down to demand, and that demand is also in a golden pocket. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it for a simple reason. So many people look at the golden pocket, and so and because market maker knows that can create problems. And so that's why I actually don't pull fibs into mine, because that kind of stuff can scare me, and sometimes unduly so. So I prefer to just leave the supply and demand and wait for price to react inside of it. If it does, and I get a structural confirmation, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. I don't care, because supply and demand is only there to support market structure. I was following the structure already. So if the supply and demand does not have a reaction, that's fine. That's fine. I'm still looking at the structure. It's only there so that if I see a reaction in structure, that I can trust that reaction better. That's it. That's all. All right. But no. That's not what I want. I'm going to take one little quick peep at MKR again, since I did make an entry. And all right. And MKR going in my direction so far. I mean, not flying in my direction, but not going against me yet, okay? I'm out of here. Team, I'll see you tomorrow, team. All right? See you tomorrow. Stay safe. Probably a few more bearish candles in store for today, all right? And possibly into tomorrow morning. So stay safe, team. I'll see you tomorrow.